Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. AFC raises alarm over politically motivated prosecutions. GECOM says no to use of Jaguar for win party. Chairman used her tie-breaking vote. U.S. restricts visas for sanctioned Guyanese drug traffickers. And new mental health court to reform justice system. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm ALETHEA Grant with the Friday, 27th June 2025 edition of the HGP Nightly News. This is what you should know this evening. The Alliance for Change AFC leader Nigel Hughes says his party is deeply concerned about what it sees as an escalating trend of politically motivated prosecutions and legal overreach under the current administration. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Alliance for Change AFC leader Nigel Hughes says his party is deeply concerned about what it sees as an escalating trend of politically motivated prosecutions and legal overreach under the current administration. He described it as a systemic dismantling of the democratic safeguards and constitutional freedoms that protect all Guyanese.
Recent legal actions against prominent Guyanese, including businessman Azruddin Mohammed, political activist Rickford Burke, and social commentator Daniel Wharton, aka Baby Skello, reveal a disturbing trend.
Hughes pointed out that in the Mohammed's case, tax-related charges were filed years after the matter had already been resolved, raising serious questions about political motive. He added that Burke was charged under defamation laws, which had already been declared unconstitutional, while authorities made a legally questionable attempt to serve him a summons outside of the national jurisdiction. He said, the broader concern is the emergence of a pattern of political targeting.
Many believe that the reopening of the Ricardo Fagundes, that's the Paper Shorts murder investigation, is not in the genuine pursuit of justice, but a politically timed effort to undermine Mohammed's rise as a political contender. Whether true or not, the optics are deeply concerning. In a democracy, even the appearance of prosecutorial bias erodes trust.
Hughes argued that these actions are not isolated incidents, but a part of a wider collapse of institutional independence.
When police and prosecutors are used as instruments of political retribution, every Guyanese, regardless of political affiliation, has reason to be concerned.
He stressed that in a country already struggling with economic inequality, the misuse of state power only serves to deepen public distress and cynicism. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thanks, Tiana. Court action may ensue now that the Guyana Elections Commission has refused a party's symbol for the upcoming elections. Here is more.
Presidential candidate for the We Invest in Nationhood Party, businessman Azruddin Mohammed, has confirmed with Nightly News that the Guyana Elections Commission on Friday ruled against the use of the Jaguar as a symbol for its political party to contest the September 1 general and regional elections. Chair of the Guyana Elections Commission, retired Justice Khaled Singh, used her tie-breaking vote as the 7-member commission to vote against the use of the Jaguar. According to Singh, the image of the Jaguar is a part of the coat of arms, and as a consequence, it cannot be used as a symbol. Opposition-appointed Elections Commissioner Vincent Alexander today said, GECOM has once again demonstrated its ineptitude and probably its bias in determining the symbol submitted by the party. We Invest in Nationhood be denied. The chairperson specifically stated that based on Article 7 of the Constitution, it is the duty of every citizen of Guyana, wherever she or he may be, and of every person in Guyana to respect the national flag, the coat of arms, the national anthem, the national pledge, and the Constitution of Guyana, and to treat them with due and proper solemnity on all occasions, she added. On Thursday, Azruddin Mohammed said he remained hopeful that his party's logo will be approved by the Guyana Elections Commission.
Come the 1st of July, I hope the logo should be approved because this will be the first time if it's refused.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
A prosecution witness in the ongoing election fraud trial admitted in court that he could not identify most of the voices captured in 14 recordings he personally made during the 2020 elections. Diana Cole has been following that story.
Day 19 of the election fraud trial saw prosecution witness Jonathan Yearwood return to the stand as 14 recordings he made on his phone in the 2020 elections command center were played in court. Despite being the person who captured the recordings, Yearwood told the court on multiple occasions that he was unable to identify most of the voices heard. He did, however, confirm recognizing the voices of defendants Dennis Bob Cummins, Keith Lowenfield, and Clement Mingo in some of the clips. After the recordings were played, Yearwood attempted to re-identify Bob Cummins, whom he had previously misidentified. This prompted objections from the defense, leading Magistrate McGusty to rule that any such identification at this stage would not carry much weight, as it is not generally permitted after an initial misidentification. Earlier in the proceedings, Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty overruled the defense's objection and admitted the disc into evidence. The defense had argued during the last court appearance that the chain of custody had been compromised. The magistrate, however, stated that she saw no break in the chain and ruled that the allegation of tampering by the witness's wife was purely speculative. Yearwood was then subjected to intense cross-examination by defense attorney Yussi Anderson. When asked if he had discussed Bob Cummins' identity outside of court, he said no. He did note, however, that when he walked into his office on Tuesday, there was laughter, and his senior manager asked him how he could not recognize the person. Due to time constraints, Yearwood's testimony could not be completed. He has been instructed to return to court on July 28 to continue. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
More news after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
With 70% ethyl alcohol, Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer eliminates 99.99% of all germs and even moisturizes in the process, leaving your skin clean and hydrated. Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer. How do you stay clean?
Krishna Roth Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice fill pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Roth Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
With us, you're watching the HGP Nightly News. The families, friends, and associates of 4 Guyanese sanctioned alleged drug traffickers will no longer be allowed to enter the United States of America. You will hear more details in this report.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Thursday announced that the United States issued visas for family, close personal, and business associates of sanctioned persons in Guyana involved in a drug trade have been restricted. Quote unquote, "Today I am announcing a new visa restriction policy under Section 212A3C of the Immigration and Nationality Act that would apply to family members and close personal and business associates of individuals sanctioned under Executive Order 14059, imposing sanctions on foreign persons involved in a global illicit drug trade," Rubio said. Secretary Rubio said, too, that imposing visa restrictions on drug traffickers, their family members, and close personal and business associates will not only prevent them from entering the United States, but it will serve as a deterrent for continued illicit activities. 4 Guyanese nationals who are alleged to be involved in the drug trade have been sanctioned by the United States of America. They are Senior Superintendent of Police Hemnath Shah, businessman Paul Davey Jr., Mark Cromwell, a.k.a. Demon of Buxton, and Randolph Duncan. Duncan and Davey Jr., according to the U.S., rely on maritime vessels and aircraft to conceal and traffic cocaine, while also allegedly bribing Guyanese officials to facilitate their drug trafficking operations. The U.S. Department of Treasury Office of Foreign Assets Control says Shaw ensures safe passage to Colombia and Venezuelan traffickers through Region 1. Shaw was reportedly, quote-unquote, paid big bucks by Colombian cocaine bosses. Mark Cromwell is described as an ex-policeman and a violent drug trafficker, an associate of Paul Davey Jr. According to the U.S. government, the 4 are linked to 2 Colombian nationals who have also been sanctioned by the U.S. for drug trafficking and related crimes. Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Presidential hopeful Aubrey Norton has pledged to frontally address challenges in the rice and the sugar industries, particularly targeting low yields, diseases, market access, credit availability, storage issues, land competition, unfair practices, and discrimination if elected on September 1, 2025. Here is more.
Opposition leader Aubrey Norton says that once elected to government in September of this year, plans are on the way to address to revitalize the sugar and rice industries. He was speaking on Friday during his party's weekly press briefing at Congress Place, Sophia.
We will immediately address the critical challenges in the rice industry, such as low yields, diseases, market availability, access to credit, lack of storage, competing land uses, unfair competition, and discriminatory practices.
Given the woes by many rice farmers, the presidential hopeful noted that attention will be placed on building storage bonds and a fertilizer plant to provide affordable fertilizer that will positively impact the industry.
We as a government will intervene and take part not only as a policy maker, but also as an investor, partner, purchaser, low-cost creditor, mediator, and guarantor.
The Ghana Sugar Corporation, which has been dubbed a white elephant, drastically needs revitalization, Norton posited. He related that GECOM can evolve beyond agriculture and become a leading builder of homes and communities in Guyana with investments in training and equipment.
Much potential also exists where the sugarcane plant itself can be utilized to produce not only raw and processed sugar, but also ethanol, livestock feed, bagasse board, and the cogeneration of electricity. These opportunities need not await only private investors, but can be ventures the state could undertake singularly or jointly.
The PNCR leader and aspirant president divulged that this entity will attract more workers as compensation, job opportunities, and working conditions will improve. Mr. Norton noted that the Gaisuku can become a net contributor to national revenues rather than a drain on the nation's resources. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Guyana has launched its first mental health court to support individuals whose mental conditions may have influenced their involvement in crime. The initiative prioritizes treatment and rehabilitation over punishment. Tiana Cole has the details.
With the aim of ensuring that persons with mental health issues are afforded fair and equal treatment and access to justice, Guyana on Thursday launched its first mental health court. Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George, in delivering the feature address, stated that the ceremony marked the beginning of a significant new chapter in this justice journey of Guyana's judiciary.
This justice journey has now embraced therapeutic justice as we strive to be less punitive while being responsive in a different way to the varied challenges persons may have when they come into contact with the law. Assisting them to be their own change agents means betterment for themselves and ultimately the society.
She added that the services provided by the Mental Health Court will be extended across the magistracy throughout the country.
These services will be available not only in the Magistrates Court here in Georgetown, but also in Bartica, and will soon be available in New Amsterdam and on the Essequibo coast. And eventually, the service will be in most, if not all, of our 11 magisterial districts.
Meanwhile, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anna Nandlal Senior Counsel stated that the launch of the Mental Health Court complements the policy, philosophy, and provisions of the Mental Health Protection and Promotion Act of 2022. He emphasized that the court represents a meaningful step forward in addressing mental health in Guyana holistically.
Particularly, this court will help us deal with defendants whose mental illness may have contributed to their commission of a crime.
He further noted that the government remains committed to working with the judiciary to establish similar courts across the country, ensuring access for all Guyanese, regardless of where they live. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
We have more news for you on the other side of the break.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Staying with us, you're watching the HGP Nightly News. Mikhail Rodriguez, known as the Guyanese critic, was on Friday ordered to pay former government minister Simona Brooms $8 million for defamation. The Guyanese critic lost his appeal after he slandered Brooms by falsely accusing her of being a human trafficker and for quitting mining operations in the hinterland for her personal benefit. In handing down her decision, Justice Priscilla Hanna found that Rodriguez indeed made libelous statements against Brooms on his Facebook morning program, Morning Live with the Critic. He was ordered to pay $5,000 for statements about her being a part of a, quote, whorehouse business and a, quote, unquote, trafficker. He will have to pay an additional $3 million for claiming she had closed her mining operations for her own personal benefit. The court found these to be libelous as well. Critic was also ordered to remove all social media posts and posts from other platforms containing the defamatory statements. The Guyanese critic was on several occasions hauled before the courts for libelous statements made on his social media platform. The Institute of Americas is facilitating a 3-day workshop which aims at equipping journalists and reporters with the requisite skills to promote best practices and share standardized information relating to global energy and climate trends. Antonio Day reports.
Journalists and reporters over the weekend will be equipped with the necessary skills to promote best practices and share standardized content on global energy and climate trends. This is being facilitated by the Institute of Americas through a workshop themed Geopolitics of Energy and Climate Change in Latin America. This was related by Jeremy Martin, Vice President for Energy and Sustainability at the Institute of Americas.
So we're trying to dive deep into issues around the energy sector and try and explain some key topics, both at an international, local, and regional level.
This is the first time such an initiative is being hosted in Guyana by the Institute of Americas, based in California, USA, Mr. Martin told Nightly News.
And we brought it here to Guyana, and so we're super happy to be here and have several local journalists participating in what's a 3-day workshop.
Meanwhile, Betsy Fisher Martin, a former journalist and executive director for the Women and Politics Institute, said that her role at the 3-day workshop is to impart with journalists an in-depth guide to improving content in several sectors, such as politics, energy, and governance.
I've been here to kind of provide just some one-on-one and some group setting instruction for the journalists here so that they can think about how they kind of improve their writing and their reporting.
The university lecture noted the necessity for local and regional media operatives to continuously honing these skills.
Certainly in the U.S. and I think around the world, journalists can do more to kind of engage the trust of their viewers and their readers.
The workshop is being held at Carroll Lodge in Georgetown. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Turbo with a new look, new style, with the same great taste in the 250 ml can. Everybody run out now. Go and go grab one. Me charge up with a turbo 250 ml at your favorite spot. Wait, sell. New look, new can, same vibes. Jinxing, energize up your life. Vibes up, work time, anytime we are turn up the party with turbo can. Turbo can, turbo can, turbo can. Now available in the new 250 ml can. Turbo energy drink. Charge up today.
You know, I've been thinking, since I moved over to the west side, this is the perfect location for put up a food stand.
Put up food stand here?
Yes, Officer Bringer.
No, Granny, you can't put up no food stand here.
Why not?
Because the gas to energy pipeline.
Gas to energy? Why is that?
They can bring gas from offshore to region 3, that can turn into electricity and other things.
So what about if Granny put it up over there?
No, Granny, listen. This whole area here, from here to the West Bank, is considered the right of way. So nobody can build, plant, dig, or burn nothing here.
But what if I am?
No buts, Granny. Listen, you could get yourself or others hurt. Watch, you see this number here? You call it if you see anybody doing anything out of the way or doing anything they're supposed to be doing, like building, digging, or burning stuff on the right of way.
All right, grandson, I hear you.
These nice products I cook with proper things. Peppies, you get the best and these things. Oh no, bless up.
Okay. Pack up these things. Yellow,
Yeah, put the drinks in the car.
Loving you is easy cause you're beautiful. Do-da-do-da-do. I love you, and you, and you, and you, and you. I love all of you.
Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
And you. I love Peppies.
Good evening, I'm Antonio Day with Friday's edition of the Regional News, starting off with the initiative 1 year after troops on the African country landed here. And I quote, "As a new model funded by voluntary partners, the mission faces challenges including funding, personnel, and logistics that are being addressed to enable the mission to achieve its objectives on schedule," according to Tunji. According to United Nations, gang violence has displaced an estimated 1.3 million people from their homes, fueling hunger and insecurity, while hospitals have shut their doors and much of the economy, judicial system, and government remain paralyzed. Special UN Representative Maria Salvador reviewed the MSS achievements over the past year, acknowledging that the mission is not yet fully funded or equipped, but emphasized the importance of recognizing its concrete actions. Turning attention to Jamaica. Jamaica's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Jacqueline McKenzie, says there has been an increase in the number of newborn deaths at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital since the start of June. In a statement on Thursday, the Chief Medical Officer stated that the rise is not linked to an outbreak of infection at the island's main maternity hospital. In a statement, she said the Ministry of Health acknowledged public concerns over the recent deaths at the hospital's special care nursery, which caters to critically ill or premature newborns. Although she did not specify how many babies have died since June 1st, the CMO said that the data showed a significant decrease of the deceased who were medically fragile. Despite efforts of the staff, some of these babies have succumbed to their illnesses. Finally, with some news in the U.S. The U.S. Supreme Court dealt a blow on Friday to the power of federal judges by restricting their ability to grant broad legal relief in cases as the justices act in a fight over President Donald Trump's bid to limit birthright citizenship, ordering lower courts that block his policy to reconsider the scope of their orders. However, the justices granted a request by the Trump administration to narrow the scope of 3 nationwide injunctions issued by federal judges in Maryland, Massachusetts, and Washington state that halted enforcement of his directive while litigation challenging the policy plays out. The ruling thus raises the prospect of Trump's order eventually taking effect in some parts of the country. Federal judges have taken steps including issuing numerous nationwide orders, impeding Trump's aggressive use of executive action to advance his agenda. The 3 judges in the birthright citizen cases found that Trump's order likely violates citizenship language in the Constitution's 14th Amendment. Thanks for watching and have a safe weekend. Goodbye for now.
AFC raises alarm over politically motivated prosecution. GECOM says no to use of Jaguar for win party. Chairman used her tie-breaking vote. U.S. restricts visas for sanctioned Guyanese drug traffickers and new mental health court to reform justice system. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm ALETHEA Grant. Thanks for watching.